What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. So this weekend we have the Continental Cup coming up where the top 8 players from USA will face off against the top 8 players from Canada based off the final tour points of the 2021 CDC Tour. And this is going to be a huge event. This bracket is absolutely stacked. I think that this is going to be the most exciting day in North American darts based on how awesome this bracket is and the players that are in it. And it's just so important that we talk about these players, get their names out there, talk about the sport. The more we talk about the sport and these players, the more it's going to grow. So in this one, I'm just going to go over my predictions for the Continental Cup. But first, it is Bullshot's mission to grow the sport of darts. So if you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop this video a thumbs up, and also go check out bullshotdarts.com. The Bullshot logo is the coolest logo in darts, so it makes it the perfect way to show your love and passion for the greatest sport in the world. I'm going to have the store launch so soon. I cannot wait to get this merch available to you guys. So let's get into this. So I just want to say, well, actually, no, I don't want to say. Let's just get right into the bracket. So we'll start on the top half of the bracket, work our way down. So the first round. Now, this isn't in order of what they'll play. This is just the bracket order. So we got Danny Lauby versus Ben Gardner. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about Ben Gardner. I recognize him, but I haven't seen enough of him to know how his darts are. But either way, I think Danny Lauby is going to win this match. Danny Lauby has been struggling a little bit, but with the Continental Cup coming up, I think that he's really going to kick it into gear for this tournament and, you know, defend his title, because he won the last Continental Cup back in 2019. So I think he's going to come out swinging and put on a great performance against Ben and really show that he's back and he's there to defend his title. Next match here, we got Kylie Edmonds versus Seth Stefano. Kylie is a great player. The first time I saw him was in Philadelphia back in, I think, 2018. And I just think he is a great shot. But we got Seth Stefano here, he's just been on absolute fire lately, and he's young, he's motivated, he's hungry. So I think he's going to come into this tour swinging, and I think that he's going to win that first match against Kylie Edmonds. Next, we got my most anticipated match, and probably by popular opinion, the most anticipated match of not only the first round, but possibly this whole tournament. And that is Jacob Taylor versus Jules Van Dongen. I'm going to keep this as short as possible, but coming out of the webcam darts, these two are the biggest sensations to come from that. And I have been wanting to see these two guys play in person for so long. So it's finally going to happen. It sucks that it's going to happen in the first round and one of them has to go in the first round, but I cannot wait to watch this match. This is almost like the finals for me of this event. And going into this event, I predicted Jules Van Dongen to win it. So, of course, I'm going to be picking Jules the whole way here. But I think Jules is going to beat Jacob Taylor. And I just think it's going to be an awesome match. I hope both players are throwing at their top, because I truly believe that this match by itself will really help put North America on the map. These guys could both throw 100+ average and just put on an absolute amazing performance. So I cannot wait for that match. And I think Jules will come out on top. Next, we got Gary Mawson versus Jim Long. I have not seen Jim Long throw darts in a while. I've watched some of his matches online, and, you know, it just kind of stinks because that's the situation we're in, you know, USA and Canada and the border, everything. Jim Long is an awesome player. I'm really excited to see him throw again. But Gary Mawson is just, I don't know, he really shows up at these events. He's made the finals of the last 2 Continental Cups. He has the experience. I mean, Jim Long has a lot of experience too, but Gary Mawson, like I said, has been in the last 2 finals of this Continental Cup. So I think Gary Mawson is going to pull through and beat Jim Long. So the top half of this bracket, I actually have all USA players winning. So in my opinion, I think we're for sure going to have a USA player in the finals coming out of the top half of this bracket. So let's move down to the second half of the bracket. We got John Norman Jr. versus Adam Savada. Adam, the first time I saw him play was in Philadelphia when he won the first event in Philadelphia, coming from the qualifiers. So I'm really excited to see what he does in this tournament, but I think John Norman's going to be a little too much for him to handle because John Norman is coming off a 2-event victory from the last the last weekend in Canada. So he got the world championship spot. He won 2 events that weekend. I think John Norman's going to come in and really put on a good performance in this first round. Next, we got Chuck Pulio and Jeff Smith. Chuck Pulio is one of my favorite players on this bracket, but I think Jeff Smith is just going to be too much to handle. I watched some of Jeff Smith yesterday, his match against Kevin Luke in the cricket, and then he played Danny Baggish in the finals. And Jeff Smith is probably the biggest dart player here. I mean, he's a PDC Tour card holder. He's been overseas a lot, back-to-back North American Championship finals, and he won in 2018, and then he lost to Danny Baggish in the finals of 2019. So Jeff Smith is my prediction to be in the finals with Jules moving here. So I think that he is going to beat Chuck Pulio, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Pulio pulls it out, because sometimes he just has it to, you know, even if he's going to be down, he always has that ability to come back. So I'm really excited to watch that match. Next, we got Leonard Gates versus Sean Brenneman. Really excited about this one because I'm always interested to see what Leonard Gates is going to do in the darts tournament. And Sean Brenneman put up a 9-dart performance on Webcam Darts earlier this year. And it was so funny because he was like announcing his own 9-darter as he was throwing his darts. So it was really entertaining and funny. But I think Leonard Gates is going to come out swinging in this event, and I think he's going to get the best of him there. Now, the last match in this bracket is one of my hardest ones to pick here. We got David Cameron versus Kevin Luke. And Kevin Luke has been on absolute fire lately, and it really hurts me to have him losing in the first round. But David Cameron, I don't know what it is about him, but I watched him win the match play in Nashville a couple years ago. He won the first event for the CDC Canada, and he just always kind of just finds a way to win. He doesn't necessarily put up the most spectacular darts, but he finds a way to win. And this is going to be an interesting match to say the least. And I think David Cameron is going to come out on top. But once again, well, I mean, the same goes for all these matches. All of these matches are absolutely stacked, and anyone can win any of these. These are just my personal predictions. But I also would not be surprised if Kevin Luke came out and whitewashed him, because he has been just an absolute beast. He just won the MVP for the, I think it's called the Seacoast, just this last weekend. So that one was a hard one for me to pick. I think Cameron's going to come out on top, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Kevin Luke just comes out and whitewashes him. I don't know. It's just going to be an interesting match, another fun one to watch. So now we're going to move into the quarterfinals here, starting back up to the top. So we got Danny Lauby versus Seth Stefano. Now, once again, Seth Stefano on absolute fire, and Seth did get the best of Danny in Philadelphia. And I think they played each other in the Seacoast Open this last weekend too. I should have confirmed that before talking about this. So Danny Lauby, once again, he's been struggling a little bit, but I think he's really going to turn up in this event. And I think Seth is going to throw great darts too. But Danny, with all of his experience and Seth has a lot of experience for being such a young guy. But I think all that experience from Danny Lauby is what's going to pull him through this match. And I'm so excited to watch this one too, because these are just, well, two of my favorite people on this bracket. And it hurts me to pick a winner, but I'm going with Danny Lauby. Next, we got Jules Van Dongen versus Gary Mawson. I talked about Mawson's ability to win and, you know, making the finals of these Continental Cups, but I think Jules is going to be just too much. Jules is just, this whole year has just been, it's been the year of Jules Van Dongen, and I think it's going to continue with this Continental Cup, and I hope he wins the Continental Cup to see him on the World Championship stage, because I truly think that he can put up damage there too. This is the year of Jules, so I think he's going to pull through and beat Mawson there, but I do think that's going to be a really good match because Jules still doesn't have that much experience, and Mawson's coming into this with, you know, tons of experience. So really interesting match there. Next, we got John Norman Jr. versus Jeff Smith. Once again, Jeff Smith, I just think he's going to pull through here. I think John Norman will put up a good fight, but it's just Jeff Smith. It's hard to go against Jeff Smith. And then at the bottom here, we got Leonard Gates versus David Cameron. And once again, like I think Gates is going to be very strong at this tournament, so I do think he's going to get that win over Cameron. So now we're going into the semifinals. We got Danny Lauby and Jules Van Dongen. Another match I'm super excited to see, because the last time these guys played was, oh boy, I think it was the Cherry Bomb in Florida. They played each other in back-to-back finals matches, and Jules won both of them. So I've talked about that in another video before. I think it was going into Philly, because I was hoping these guys played in Philly, but It didn't happen, so I'm hoping that we get him in the semifinals. And like, I do think Danny Lauby's going to come out swinging at this event, at this tournament. But Jules, it's the year of Jules Van Dongen. I think he's just going to pull through and get that win and go to the finals against Jeff Smith here, because I do have Jeff Smith beating Leonard Gates in the bottom half of the semifinals. So in the end, with my predictions, we do have a USA player versus a Canadian player. And even if my predictions are way off, I still hope it turns out USA versus Canada, because obviously it stinks that we had the split tour, but at the same time, I think it was kind of cool that we have this Continental Cup that's kind of like a USA versus Canada. So it is exciting, and regardless of these predictions, I do hope we get USA versus Canada in the finals. And like I said a million times this video already, it's the year of Jules Van Dongen, and I think he's going to pull through and beat Jeff Smith. Although I do think this is going to be a great match, because in the past, Jules has even said himself, that he does lack kind of experience, and sometimes that can get to him. So this is going to be against Jeff Smith with a paid crowd in a finals match. But this is where I think Jules is going to take his game up to the next level, get that win. And that's going to be so big for him, because yeah, he's going to, I think, the Lakeside Championship and these other things, but I think that this would be his biggest victory of his darts career so far, even though he has a lot of other stuff. And getting that, I think, is just going to propel him to the next level. And going into the World Championship, I truly think he can do some damage. And if he stays really hot, he has potential to go pretty far. So just really excited for that. So all right, guys, that's it for my predictions. Leave your predictions down below. It's so important that we talk about these that we talk about these players and these events. We got to get these names out there. The more we do, it's going to grow the sport. So leave your predictions down below, guys. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I don't know. Let's have some fun and talk about darts. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and shoot well.